YouTube channel, but I'm here ready to share my love of movement through exercise and yoga. Today we're doing an exercise routine. Better late than never. I'm so happy to be sharing these with you again. So we're doing an exercise routine today. It's going to be nice and short and sweet. Have some water handy, listen to your body, take those breaks when and if you need them. We are going to be having little short pauses throughout this routine today, so plenty of opportunity to take a break. If you're feeling full of energy, great, put that into it, go as hard as you want to. But if you're feeling a little bit sluggish today, it's okay to kind of slow things back. We want to just adjust things as our body kind of needs to, okay? So I'm going to be offering variations as well to each of the exercises. So for example, when we go to do the push-ups, I'll offer a standing version as well as a floor version. So you get to pick what variation suits you at this moment, okay? And remember, how we feel changes from day to day. Some day we might be full of energy and want to hop on the floor, and other days we're kind of feeling a bit sluggish, and it's okay to do the wall version. None is lesser than the other. We're just adjusting to how our body's feeling, okay? So I always start my exercises with a little bit of mobility just to get our joints and muscles nice and warmed up. We'll keep this really short and sweet. We'll do our exercise routine and then follow up with a cool down. Okay, it's a way of getting that nervous system regulated again. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So let's start warming up from the head down. So it's just some gentle nodding. Okay, taking it nice and slow, getting those neck muscles nice and loose and warmed up. And then we'll do some side to side, just a couple each side. Nice, and then head forward, and we'll start with the shoulders with some rolls, and then the other way, and then the elbows. Now you could even be stepping while you're doing this, so starting to get the body a bit warmed up, doing two things at once is good for the brain as well. And then some wrist movements, maybe opening and shutting the hands. And now let's warm up the trunk. So lifting up the heels as we just gently sway, a couple each way. And then some side bends, reaching over, stretching up through the hips and ribs. Beautiful. And then maybe some arching and opening up through the back and chest. Beautiful. All right, so we've done the trunk. Let's warm up that lower back a little bit more and do it the other way. Nice, good. All right, so let's warm up the hips. So you can pop your foot on the floor, maybe just turn the knee in and out. Now you can wear whatever you like for exercise. As you can see, just got some cut-off jeans. They're quite stretchy, these jeans. It's good enough. You don't have to be wearing, lycra. You can just wear whatever you're able to move in. Kick the heels up behind you. Get those knees warmed up. You might even like to bring them together and do some little knee circles. Good. All right, so let's warm up the ankles. So this doesn't take very long, about a minute. Come up on the balls of our feet for the ankles. And that's it. All right, so we're going to be doing some squats first. Now, everybody's squats looks different because all our hips are different from person to person, okay? So we need to find a squat pattern that suits us. It suits what our hips, the mobility of our hips are like, our knees and ankles. So I'm gonna be offering just general cues and then you can adjust accordingly, okay? So I'm gonna start with my feet roughly about hip width apart. In fact, they're probably a little bit wider than hip width apart. And then we want to make sure that our whole foot is on the ground from the heel to the toes. Okay, so nice and simple, about hip width apart or wider, maybe narrower if you want to, it's up to you. And then make sure the whole foot's flat on the ground. We're basically going to send our bottom out the back and go down and up. It's that simple, okay? Let's not complicate things. So we can relax our knees. Once we bend the knees, everything else will follow through. I like to look ahead as well with my gaze. It just helps me to keep kind of a bit more open through the chest, okay? And just relax your shoulders. So from here, we're going to come down and up. Okay, so we're doing 10 reps and we're doing 3 sets of 10 reps. Now, rather than just squat, 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 we're going to what we call superset these. So once we've finished our squats, going down and up, we're up to rep 6. We're going to do some push-ups to follow it up, to piggyback it. Okay, I think we've got 2 more. You might find the more squats you do, the deeper that you go. All right, so that's our squats out of the way. So we work the legs, work the bottom. Now we're going to work our chest, the back of the upper arm, and the front of our shoulders. So there's a couple of different ways we can do our push-ups. The setup for both is pretty much the same. We want our hands roughly in line with the shoulders, okay, in terms of like the height. And if you go wider, you're going to use a little bit more of your chest muscles. If you go narrower, the back of your arms is going to feel it a little bit more, okay? Either way, we want to make sure that we're not flaring the elbows and they're coming higher than the shoulders. So if you're doing this on the wall, you'll like pretend I've got a wall here. We're going to bring our body to the wall and make sure our elbows stay lower than our shoulders, okay? Just so we can protect them. We want to keep a nice straight line from heel to hip to shoulder. When we go to do this on the floor, if you're doing them on the knees, which is probably what I'll be doing, is we want to just a straight line from knee to hip to shoulder. So whichever way, we need to keep the bottom tucked in, but make sure we don't sag at the back. We want to keep it nice, that core activated the whole time. So maybe a gentle suck of the belly button to the spine, nothing drastic, just maintain a nice straight line. So if you're doing it on the wall, your chest is out and you're going to come to the wall and big push off. See if we can get the arms straight and bent full range. Okay, so we're going to do 10 of these. So I'm going to hop on the floor for this one. Way down here. Half the exercise will be coming up and off the floor, but that's okay. So I'm going to start with my hands under the shoulders, and then I'll start to sneak my knees past my hips behind me. And I'm keeping my bottom tucked in and my chest is out. I might take my hands a little bit wider than my shoulders, and here we go. 1, so we're looking for nice controlled movements. 3, 4, so we're not dropping into the floor or the wall, and we're pushing with intent. So big push, we've got 4 more, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good stuff, awesome. All right, so that's our push-ups done. We're going to hop back up and do our squats. Now, it's okay to hit the pause button and have a little mini break in between. Totally okay. I'm actually going to finish off 2 more sets back to back and then have a pause. But, you do what's best for you. So we're getting into those squats. Pick a stance that you feel comfortable with, eyes forward, and here we go. 2. Now, if you've got like a dumbbell or a medicine ball or some sort of weight, even a bag of groceries, make sure they're not cold, but you want to hold something in your hands as a counterbalance, that's totally okay as well. All right, I think we're about halfway there. Just coming down as deep as you feel comfortable, pushing through the whole of your foot. Okay, I think 1 more. I am terrible at counting. Terrible. All right, so going back to those push-ups. So remember, if you're doing them on the wall, hands about shoulder height, and then you're coming into the wall. I'm coming down onto the floor, setting up, knees behind hips, chest out, hands a bit wider than shoulders. And here we go. 1, big push. 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway there. 6, 7, 8, 2 to go. Keep that bottom tucked in. Nice, good. All right, that's 2 sets done. We've got 1 more set to go. Back up we go. All right, last lot of squats. So feet in position, try and relax your shoulders. Do whatever you like with your arms. I kind of like having mine out in front kind of imagining I'm holding something heavy in front, and down we go. So as I'm warming up, I'm finding I'm getting a little bit deeper because my knees are warming up. And you could do these as a chair squat. So you're sitting down on the chair and standing up, sitting down, standing up. So you can do them all different ways. Do 2 more. Nice. And now we've got our last lot of push-ups. All right. So either on the wall, on your toes, you can do them on your toes. That's an option. Pick out what intensity suits you today. All right, here we go. Big push. 1, 2, nice strong chest, shoulders, and arms. 3, 4, and just coming to a depth that you can control. 5, trying not to jut the chin forward. So a little tuck of the chin. 4 to go. And 3, very good core exercise, this one as well. 2, and 1, awesome. Whew. Oh my heavens. Okay, so there are our first 2 exercises. We've done them as a superset. We've piggybacked one on top of the other. Again, you could do the 2, have a little mini break, do the other set, and then do the last set. But I'm going to take my break now, so I'm going to hit the pause button. And when I come back and I've stopped huffing and puffing, we'll finish up with the rest of the other 2 exercises. Okay, so we're back to do our last 2 exercises. Like I said, this program's short and sweet. First one coming back. We're doing bird dogs and following that up with like a seated row. They're mainly core focused exercises, but we're using the whole of our body, arms, legs, and trunk. Okay, so we're looking for slow, purposeful movements. We're not rushing through them. The first exercise, the bird dog, we are going to be on our knees. So if you find your knees get a little bit ouchy, roll up a towel or a soft blanket, pop it underneath there, or even if you've got an extra mat, roll it up, pop it under for a bit of cushioning. I think that's about it. So let's get started. So coming into hands and knees position. Okay, so we want our hands under our shoulders and our knees under our hips and finding a length to the spine. Okay, so we'll spread the fingers so we feel nice and stable in our base. So this is where we come back to between each rep. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is extending our leg out the back. So let's say our right leg, and then we're going to be extending our left arm at the same time. So if you just want to start off by just doing the leg, that's fine. What we are looking for mainly is that we can keep this trunk nice and steady and still, that we're not kind of moving our hips around. So they need to be steady and still as well. Okay, and that's where all the hard work comes in. It gets a little bit tricky trying to keep that hip and trunk still. Okay, but like I said, take your time. Slow and steady wins the race with this one. Let's get started. So I'm going to use my right leg and my left arm. Just breathe your natural breath, don't hold your breath, and extend. And now we're going to do the other side. So we're going to do the right arm and the left leg. And we're doing 10 each side. Just nice and slow and steady. Now you can do 10 just on one side, that's okay. But I'm going to do opposites. See if I can test my brain here. So it's as much training for my brain as it is for my body. Good. I mean, like this is a halfway point. So we want to keep that trunk and hips nice and steady and still. Maybe softly drawing the belly button towards the spine. Let's do 4 more each side. That's it. Keep breathing. I know you can probably hear me breathing. That's it. And 1 more each side. So as we extend our leg behind us, see if we can keep that knee pointed down. Beautiful. All right, so that's our bird dogs. Now we're rolling onto our tummies. All right. We're going to pretend we're in a canoe and we're rowing our boat. So from here, bending the knee, obviously, leaning back to feel like your tummy muscles are engaged, that you can feel them like move, get engaged. And then from here, we're going to grab the oars of our boat. I'm still huffing and puffing from the last lot of exercises, I think. And then from here, we're just pulling the elbows behind us. Now, if you want to lift up a leg or both legs, I think I might just do one for now. I'm going to do 5 on each leg up. So you can pick the level of intensity that you want to do. Okay, 2 more. All right, good. So that's our seated row. We're going to flick over and do our next lot of bird dogs. See if they feel any different second time around. So long spine, extend, keeping that trunk nice and still, controlling the extension of our arms and legs. That's 2. And 3. No rush. And 4, see if we can get our hands and knees to come down at the same places that we lifted them from. So if you're finding you're squishing in, just reset your start point. Okay, we've got 4 more to go. That's it. I find this very challenging, this exercise. Even though it's quite simple, there's not a lot to it. I find it's very challenging at times, but it's very rewarding as well. All right, rolling over. And now we get into our canoe, grab our oars, and then let's go. So again, you can choose whether you want to lift a leg or lift both legs or no legs. It's up to you. It's your boat. Okay, we got 2 more. Lovely. All right, we got 1 more set of each to do. All right, here we go. We got this. All right, straighten up my mat a little bit. Whew. All right, long spine, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. That's our start point. Watch we're not sagging the belly, particularly as we extend. And let's see if we can keep that trunk nice and still. 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. Keep going, we're nearly there. And 8. This is our last set. 2 more. 9. My eyes are looking just in front of my fingertips. And 10. Whoops, bit wobbly there. All right. All right. That's the end of that one. All right, hopping back in our boat, leaning back, a little tuck of the chin so we're not jutting the chin forward. And let's get to rowing. 2, 3, 4, 5, swap legs. And you might find this very tricky because we've just come off doing a core exercise and we're going into another one. Last one. Whew. We're done. Beautiful. All right. So we're going to stretch it out now. And I'm on the floor anyway, so I'm going to do my stretches down here. Now I'm actually going to pop something underneath my bottom because I find that like if I just sit on a mat, it hurts my back a little bit. So I'm going to grab one of my bolsters and that's going to help me feel a bit more comfortable as I stretch. All right, so just pop your legs into whatever position feels comfortable. I'm going to have them out here. All right, so from here, we'll take the chin to the throat, stretch the back of our neck, and then come up. Nice, bring the head down. We're going to tip the ear to the shoulder. Might even draw the opposite hand down. And then up to the other side. You can take as long as you like with these stretches. All right, so from here, I'm going to just make a little bit of an arch with my spine. So tucking in my chin, tucking up my hips, give my back a bit of a stretch, and then opening up Oh, big stretch for the chest, for the shoulders and the arms. Beautiful. Cross my legs now. All right, so from here, add a little side bend, opening up through the hip and ribs, and then over the other side. And if there's any other stretches that you like doing, definitely do them. Little twist, and little twist. Nice. And then I'll have a little bit of a stretch for the hammies, so I might pop my legs out in front, a bit of a reach there. Whew. Got pretty tight hammies. Nice, lovely. Okay, so thanks for joining me for my first video back. It's been so much fun. I really do enjoy making these, so I'm keen to bring some more of them to you. Otherwise, have a beautiful day, evening, whenever you're doing this, and I'll see you next time.